Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to make a blinking maze game. We might have seen such kind of games before or played also like that. Like there is a character which moves through a fixed path and it is full of obstacles. Then it leaves the map and find a treasure. So one such game we are going to make in this video also. So let's start. The very first thing we are going to need is a backdrop. So we'll start with our selecting our backdrop. We'll go to a backdrop option in the corner. There you will see there are a lot of backdrop options. So we are going to choose a very simple, a blue sky, a light color background like this. If you want, you can change the color of the backdrop also. Like there are a lot of colors here, but as of now let's keep it like that only. Now we'll move to the sprite section. We are going to choose some different sprite for our blinking maze game. First I'll remove this one, then we'll go to the sprite option and we click on this. Now let's select a ball, that is as a blinking sprite. Then we also want that when our sprite completes the game, there should be a reward. So for that, we'll again to go choose another sprite under the name like a cake. We want that when our sprite completes the game, then it should get a reward as a cake. And we are going to need one more sprite. What is that? That is our maze. Like how the ball is, how our sprite is going to move through the maze. So we are going to make our maze. Now see, we are having two options. We can either download it from internet. We can download a maze picture and insert it in the backdrop, or we can also do that we can create a maze by ourselves. So as of now we are going to create a maze by ourselves. I click on the sprite option and there you will see there is a paint. We click on that and here will be a blank sprite created. So let's try to create a maze here. What you will do, we'll select a first of all we'll select this straight line, and here the number, this is the amount of width of the line which we are going to create. Let's set it to 30. Now see, we can create a line like this, similarly like this, then again here, and like this. Then what we can do, we can choose a, we can start making our maze like this. Then like this we can do that. We can create multiple obstacle according to us, according to our need. Then what we can do, we can also create something like this, a smaller one, then a bigger one like this. and at the end we can insert some other color picture, like okay, let's first change the color. How we can do that? We can click on this and insert a line. So we can assume that we can start from here, and this is our start point and this is our end point. Now our sprite has to move throughout this path to complete the game. So this was about the maze. Now let's start writing the code for each of the sprite one by one. Alright, so the very first code which we are going to write is of this maze itself. So how are we going to start? First of all, we are going to select an event. Let's say when green flag is clicked. We click on this and bring it to our script area. Then we are going to set its position. Like as of now, it is like this only. So we can set it as for setting the position. If you remember, we are having a goto block. We can use goto at x0 and y0. Then what we can do, we can use, like, we want that the moment we start the game, this maze should be visible to us. So for that we are having an option of show. We click on this and insert it here. Now we are going to need one variable also, like at which level we are. So how can we create a variable? We click on the variable option, then there is an option of make a variable. We click on this and there will be a window. So we can write as current level, as if on which level we are. Then what we are going to do, as of now we are going to set the current level as 0. So here in the maze, like initial, when the game starts, our level will be 0. So we'll check with the help of a conditional statement if, that if our current level is 0, then what should happen? Alright, similarly, if our current level is 1, then what should happen? So for that we need an operator to check the value. So we click on the operator, we'll use equals to and insert it in this block. Instead of 50, we can write it as 1, and this empty space will fill it with our current level variable. Now if current level equals to 1, then what should happen? That means our sprite have completed the game. Then we want that our maze should disappear. So we can use the option of hide. And remember, we need to perform this action every time. We need to get this happen every time. So we can use a forever loop here. Alright, so let's check this much part of our code. I click on the green flag and see the maze is on its place. Alright, so this was about the code of this our maze. Now let's move on to our next sprite, that is a cake. Now I click on this and we'll write a code for this. So what do we want? That when we start a game, this cake should not be visible. It should only be visible when our sprite completes the game. That is at this blue point. This is our end point. So when our sprite reaches this and touches this end point, Then we will be able to see a cake on the screen. All right. So we are going to write a code for same instruction. First, we'll select an event, that is when green flag is clicked. Then we want that initially when we start the game, this cake should be hidden. So for that, we are having an option in looks block. We are having hide. We use that. Then we will wait when till the time till the current level value changes to 1. So here in the control option, we are having wait until block. We'll use this and insert it here. Then now we will check the value of current level. What is the value of this variable? For checking the value, we need an operator equals to, we use that. In 50, we will write 1, and this empty space will fill with our variable, that is the current level. We click on this and we'll wait. That is, if the current level value is equals to 1, that means our sprite has completed our game. So then we want that our cake should be visible, that is our gift should be visible. For this purpose, we'll use the show block, and then we'll use show and insert it here. That is, now the current level equals to 1, that is our sprite have completed the maze, and we want that this cake should be visible now, but for only few seconds. For that, we'll use a wait block. We click on the wait and change the seconds as 5, or you can set it according to yourself. Then after that, we again want it to remain hidden, so we'll use the hide option. Alright, so this was about our code of the cake. Let's check it. When I click on the green flag, you will see that it gets hidden, and it will be visible only when the value of this current level changes to 1. Now let's move ahead to our next sprite, that is our ball. So the very first thing we want that our ball should start from our starting point, that is here. So the very first thing we'll use an event. We go to the event block and select when green flag click. Then we need to change the size. As you can see, the size of the ball is very large, and we want it to fit it in the maze. So for that, let's first check the size, which would be better, 50. If I place it here, or we can reduce it a bit also, like 40. Alright, so in this way, we'll give the command as, we'll write the code as set size to 40, where we can have that option. In looks, you'll say set size to, instead of 100, we'll write 40. Then we want that whenever we start a game, our ball should, this sprite, the ball, this should start from this corner, that is our starting point. So as you can see, the value here, the position, this position are having the value of x as 212 and y as 157. So we'll use a goto block. And where can we find that goto block? In the motion option, we'll have a goto block. We click on that and bring it here. So this was about the setting the size and position of our ball. Now what are we going to do next? We are going to check the value of this variable here. The again very first thing we need is an event we use when green flag is clicked. Then we can do is we are going to check. So for that we are having an option conditional state block, that is if. We use it here, and the value of current level is to be checked. We need to see whether it is 0 or 1. So for that we need an operator. We go to the operator option and we use equals to block. Click on this and insert it here. In the place of 50 we will write as 0, and in this empty space we'll insert a variable, that is our current level. Now if our current level equals to 0, what should happen? This is our ball, it is going to move, and if current level equals to 0, that means we have just started our game. So what are we going to do? We are going to make it blink. And how are we going to make it blink? First we'll use a hide option, then we'll wait for a few seconds. For that we are having a wait block. In place of 1 we can change it to 0.5 seconds, and then we'll again show this. We'll again use a show block. So this is the way how we are making our ball blink. Alright, after that we'll again use a wait block, and we'll again change the time, set it as 0.5. And remember, we want this process to be continue forever. For that we use a forever block. We'll insert it here like this. Alright, so let's check this much part of our code first. I'll click on the green flag and you will see the ball. Suppose I place it here. Now I click on the green flag. You will see the ball will automatically reach on this corner and start blinking here. Now suppose you want to increase the speed of the blinking. What we can do? We can simply change the time it as 0.52. We can change it as 0.3. And here also. Now I click on the green flag. See, the blinking speed has increased. Alright. Then what are we going to do? We are going to check that if our sprite is moving, and we need to ensure that it doesn't touch the walls. For that we need to write one more piece of code. So for that the very first thing we need is an event. We click on the green flag. Then what are we going to do? We are going to set the value of our variable. We use set current level to 0. That is, the moment we press on the green flag, the value of the current level should change to set it as 0. After that we are going to wait till the ball touches this black line. For that we are having a wait until block, where in control option we'll use wait until. And what are we going to insert in here? The sensing part. If it is touching, what is the color of the maze? Black. So we are simply going to use if touching the color, and we can change the color as, instead of this we can simply change it to black. Then what should happen if our sprite touches this maze? Then the game should stop. So everything should stop So in the control option, we are having stop all. We are going to use that. Now, this was about the piece of code for touching the wall. What should happen if a sprite reaches to the end of the maze and it touches this blue region? For that, we are going to write the code again. So the similar way, very first thing, when green flag is clicked, then what are we going to check? We are going to wait until our sprite touches this blue color. For that, we are having a again wait until block in control option. We use wait until and place it here. Now in the sensing part, we are again going to use touching color. And in place of color, we need to set the color as this color only. To match this, we are having this option. We click on this and we use this. I magnify this and you will see that this color is automatically inserted here. Now when it touches this color, what should happen? Then there should be a message that is to be displayed which says you won. To use that, we go to the looks option and use say block. In place of hello, we can write you won for 2 seconds. After that, what are we going to do? We are going to change the value of this current level. In the variable block, we'll use change current level by 1. And after that, what we are going to do? We are going to hide this sprite. So we use this. Alright. So this was the code about what should happen if a sprite touches this, reaches the end part and touches this blue color. Now what we are going to write next is how to control our sprite, that is the up, down, left and right movement. For that, again we are going to need an event. We use this when green flag is clicked. Then as we have already set the value of this, what are we going to do? We are going to check if we are pressing arrow key, which arrow key we are pressing. So first we use if statement, and here in the empty slot we are going to insert if it is touching, if it is pressing the right arrow key. So in the sensing part, we are having an option key space pressed. In place of space, we can change it to right arrow and we can use this block here. Now what should happen if we are pressing right arrow? That is, our sprite should move in the right direction. So again, for right and left we are having the X value, and for up and down we are having Y value. So we are going to change the value of X. As you can see in the motion statement, we are having a block change X by 10. We are going to use that and we are going to wait for some amount of seconds. For that we use a wait block. We can change the time it as like 0.2 seconds. Similarly, we are going to use the same code for left arrow key. First we'll change it to left arrow, and in place of +10 we are going it to keeping it as -10. That is, our sprite is going to move left, that is in the negative X direction. Again, this is for right and left. Now we need to write for up and down. So we are going to copy this code again. In place of left arrow, we'll change it to up arrow. Now what should happen if we are pressing up arrow key? That means the value of y is increasing. So instead of x, we are going to remove this, and in the motion statement we are going to use change y by 10. Rest everything remains the same. Similarly, for down arrow key, we copy this down. Okay, not here. Yes, here. We change it to down arrow, and in place of plus 10, we'll change it to minus 10. Alright. Now, we want this process to be repeated, keep on forever. Like, we want it to repeat it again and again. For that, we'll go to the control option and we use a forever block. Alright, so this was pretty much about the code. Now let's check our code. I click on the green flag and you will see that our ball start blinking. I keep on pressing the left arrow key to move it. Now down arrow key. Now suppose if I touch my ball to the maze, see the game has stopped. Alright, now what should happen if the ball touches the blue? Then I'll touch this and see it is saying you won and this cake appears. Alright, so this was about our maze game, blinking maze game. Use the same code to create a game of your own, or you can create different type of maze. Like as of now I have created this kind of maze. You can create your own maze also, like I told you before, and you can set the difficulty according to yourself. Also, in place of this ball, you can keep any other sprite also. Like in the sprite option, you can keep any person, or you can keep any animal. Alright, like a cat also you can keep it. So it totally depends upon you. So try this code and do the modification according to yourself. That's it for this video. Thank you.